Hello and welcome to Cymatic TV. This is going to be a follow-up video on the X-Flare. It's all about how the energy is transferred, how it affects our aura, how it affects our chakras, how it affects our moral, spiritual, mental and physical health. Okay, so we're going to be looking at very deep sort of concepts that are very simple to understand. And once you can understand the workings of it, it's a lot easier to glean the information out of what is going on in the vibrations that are around you. And once you can get that information, that's when you can start using that information to make life better, not just for you, but obviously for everybody else that is around you. So without further ado, let's just get into it.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
As I said in the previous video about the X-flares, vibration is all about different types of rhythms, different types of vibrations, what we would deem as different things like earth, water, fire and air. So as the different vibrations come through, we have different effects upon us. Depends on the type of vibration, the type of eruption, the type of prana energy that's coming in our direction. And we must understand that whole concept that I can't actually physically give you energy. I can only create a vibration then that resonates with you and helps you to be in a certain way. And this resonance comes through in different types of waves. And these waves can actually be standing waves as well. The water is not really going anywhere. At some points they seem like they're moving one way, and then other points they seem like they're moving backwards. And there's other times that it feels like it's very stationary and there's a constant going on with that wave. And this helps us to understand when we can really sort of push on one element of our life or another. That whole connection between one environmental energy and our energy is that sort of electricity, that sort of vibration that comes through. So when you see something that's being affected, say, let's say the Earth's energy comes from where? Where does it actually come from? It comes from the center of the Earth, our gravity. And gravity is that electromagnetic field which is around everything that we are part of. And because we are on the surface of the Earth, we benefit from all of that beautiful electromagnetic energies, which makes life possible. But the eruptions of that Earth energy does not come from its surface. Yes, it is reproduced on its surface, but initially it comes from inside the center. And where is our center? So if you're looking at your energy as well as chakras and in auras, where does your energy come from? So let's just quickly look at the energy of the Earth here. Here we can see the different lines of energy that go across on my map that I've created, which is the standing wave of that energy that we saw earlier on. And I've broken it also down into chakras here. So we have the root chakra, which is on a salt lake, the highest salt lake in South America. Then we have Mount Shasta, which is the sacrum. And then we have the solar plexus, which is down in Australia. And the heart chakra is over in around St. Michael's Mount in the UK. And then we have the third eye and the throat chakra, which is around Mount Fuji, and the crown chakra, which is Mount Kailash. These vibrations come through these energies of the Earth, which are stimulated by the sun. And it has these things here, which is these crossover points, which we see in the magnetic field of the Earth. And then it's transferred to the center of the Earth. And through the center of the Earth, it is then starting to affect the surface of the Earth as the two vibrations are coming together. And as those two vibrations come together, yes, it does affect our physical or our energetical bodies, which we can see through our chakra system, which we can see here. And as if you were seated cross-legged, where would be the center of your energies? Now, some people say the heart, some people say the crown or your energy comes through your root chakra. And that is not possible to be happening on the surface, because the crown chakra, much as your heart chakra and all the other chakras, are exterior to your physical body. It's like your atmosphere. So it doesn't come directly from the atmosphere, although that is a component of it. It comes from the essential point that is within you. And if you notice, your heart chakra is not really at the center of your body when you are sat down. Everything has to be in harmony, in sacred geometry. So it will actually come from the sternum point. As this energy comes through, and as we saw on the X-flare, there was started off with filament energy. It will initially come through you from an inner feeling, like when you're feeling in love and you get that butterfly feeling in your stomach. And then it makes your heart palpitations, your heart misses a beat, as we've heard in so many songs. Those sort of things, how does it actually filter through you? So that's the way that first thing we feel from inside us, and noticing this intake of energy and how it affects your organs or how it affects your physical sensation will eventually affect your heart and your overall energy section. But as I've shown with the marble effect, with the protons, this is where the wave thing comes into effect. The initial wave will affect your chakras straight away, yes, but it is the overall energy that will deal with whatever you're actually engaging with at the moment. So if you have an emotional charged situation which is a concern for your heart, you will feel it initially by someone saying, I don't love you anymore, or I love you, whichever way it goes. Then within your body, that's when you start getting the physical effects. But those physical effects will have a lot more of a longer term effect upon you on the going forward and how you do things than the shorter term initial impact on your heart chakra. This is how things actually work within the human body system. And this body can then have complications, which we can see, and I was talked about in, say, like eczema and the things that come to the surface of the body. This can affect you in the way of stress. And dealing with your stress is the main component of your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and your energetical health. Knowing the vibrations as they initially shock you, create that vibration that meets the energy that's coming up inside you, and as it meets the energy that comes, or the vibration that comes from the exterior, your internal energy then interacts with that vibration coming from the exterior, and that's what creates a certain emotion, that creates a mental state of being, and how you engage in the world around you. If you can feel these, and this is what I do, and I'm developing on my online courses, I've been doing it on my workshops, my weekend workshops for the last 20 years, and taught a lot of people to go into healing. And healing is a very great example of how we do this. You know, when I'm looking at someone and I'm healing, and I'm doing a healing, let's say with someone with breast cancer, you know, I tend to now, because I've been doing it for over 20 or 30 odd years, all my life really, but and I've seen tens of thousands of people, I've started to notice that there is a recurring thing happening when I'm dealing with, say, like breast cancer, for example. And after a while, statistically, within my own sort of research, I've noticed that the stress that females take in according to their children will affect their lymphatic glands that are in their breasts. But for males, do not take on the stress for their children in the same way. We stock it as males. We stock it in the lymphatic glands that are around the throat and around the groin area in different chakras. That's the whole point. And we understand the moment you get this influx of energy, which causes a certain amount of stress, it will accumulate in your body. And eventually your body, because it's not your body, at some point you will give it back to the owner, which is the earth. The earth owns everything. It owns the telephone that you're watching this video on. It owns the telephone that I'm watching it on. At some point, it was dust in the mine, usually collected by kids. What's that all about? But at some point, and then we took that bit of earth and changed it into a telephone. And eventually that telephone will be recycled as much as your body. Your body is an amazing thing. And once you understand how it works electrically as much as physically, that's when you've got the key to your own success. Understanding the transferal of this energy. So we've seen now the filament energy that came off of the sun, followed by the coronal hole, the earth energy, which is much more into sacrum energy, into sort of solar plexus energy, and obviously into your root chakra as well. And that sort of plays into that sort of part of the world, but it's very physical. And this is where the emotional side of life may have been very strong. And that's when we started applying the physical aspect to the emotions and seeing what is logically coming out of this. If you are capable of doing that, you come out the other side in a very passionate way with that solar flare, which is all to do with air and fire energy. Now that's going to be feeding a lot more of your heart chakra and your third eye and your throat chakra. And it's going to be able to convert all those emotions and those passions that you're going to have, that you've been having maybe, about life, about your situations that are around you, into action. And this is where we can see a better future as well, because we know our past. Tanya came out with a beautiful phrase, and she will tell you one day, because I can't quite remember it, but it was something along the line of knowing your past. Knowing your past is the food for your tomorrow and today. I've hashed it up a little bit. I'm sorry, Tanya, I do apologize. I'm sure once we start doing videos together, you'll be able to sort of tell the world exactly what the phrase was. But it's that sort of scenario that we're dealing with. And the eruptions on the sun, because it takes days to affect us, the day that you are living now, you would understand, because you would know your past of what has been coming down the line. You know it's going to be here and arriving for you. And therefore, once it starts playing out through your electrical body, your aura and your chakras, and your engagement with the world around you, that's when you can then start putting into place your way, or your creation, your manifestation of what you so wish to live in life, which is so important, not just for you, but for everybody that is around us, around you. Then we can really start evolving. We can really take our consciousness, the material world, to a completely different level, which could be highly beneficial to multitudes of levels of life on this planet. Thank you very much for being here. Really do appreciate your support. I hope you're getting the best out of these videos. I will be doing the video tomorrow on the solar eclipse and how it's going to be affecting the Earth and the Earth's energy. And that's a 6-month thing. So it's one of these waves of reality which are a lot longer than the instantaneous waves of reality which we see in the X-flares. So I'll see you there for that. Thank you very much for being here. There's also the other stuff which is on our sister channel, which is the Astroflower, where we do sort of tarot reading and so forth. You might want to check that out as well. In the meantime, there's all for me left to say is thank you very much. And don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.